Since the addition of Jimmy Butler. After a long road trip with the All-Star weekend taking over Chase Center, Bay Area fans, they finally got their first look at Jimmy in person here. We're going to pick this one up, this game against the shorthanded Dallas Mavericks in the first quarter. Jimmy Butler gets the inside jam.
Great play design from Steve Kerr. Perfect setup for him.
And then later in the first here, Steph Curry going to work, hits that step-back three. The Warriors up 15 after the first quarter here. Going on to the second.
They're playing good defense, Malik, on Steph.
Well,
what do you want from them?
Jimmy Butler, when he's helping out like this, too, goes inside for the layup. And then about a minute later, Butler, tough floater there, plus right the foul. We need to take another look at that one. Tough-looking shot. To the third, the Warriors continue to cook here. They just control right here the offensive rebound. And then Steph Curry comes up and hits the three. Listen to Steve Kerr and Jimmy Butler mic'd up watching this play.
That's kind of fun watching that, isn't it? I don't want this right?
Heck yeah, it's fun to watch that. And then less than a minute later, still the third quarter here, Steph Curry, look who he's picked up by, P.J. Washington.
Not a bad defender.
And
good defense.
Curry, he hits the step-back three.
What are you supposed to do?
Steph does the night-night celebration. Here's what Curry said about doing so this early in the game.
So whatever the question is just a moment that I had with somebody on the other side. Longer story.
Let's talk about that longer story, shall we? Curry is referencing this. On two separate occasions this year, Washington has hit the night-night in wins against Golden State. On December 15th, another on February 12th. So then when Curry hits the three over Washington last night,
you knew that was coming.
He returns the favor a little bit here, right? Curry finished with 30 points. Golden State gets the win, 126-102.
The ball is moving. Jimmy's making his presence felt. Draymond, orchestrating the offense. Defensively, we're playing well. So just got to keep building. And it's been a good look so far.
The game feels easier right now for us. Jimmy just, the game makes sense when he's out there. He gets to the line. He makes simple plays. He keeps the game in under control for us. And so you can feel the difference for sure.
You can see the difference, too, right? The Warriors, they've been elite on both sides of the floor during their 5-1 run since the Butler trade. They rank 6th offensively, 5th defensively in this stretch as well. Tim Legler joining us now. Tim, what has Jimmy Butler brought to Golden State here?
Well, look, we've talked about a lot of the things, and everybody keeps echoing the same things. Obviously, the toughness, the edge, the two-way player, 20 points a game is nice. But for me, I think it's his passing and his ability to understand where to go to occupy open spaces. His IQ is off the charts. We didn't really talk that much about it when Jimmy Butler came to Golden State because we knew they needed his offense. They needed his ability to isolate, get to the foul line. That helps their defense. It helps Steph Curry rest when he's taking, a minute of real time to go shoot those 2 free throws. All of those things matter. But I'm so impressed with his ability to fit in the confines of the continuity of their offense, because that was what you didn't know. How's that going to work out exactly? Well, Jimmy Butler just knows how to play basketball, and that's what Steve Kerr was alluding to. Simple plays that fit, and he keeps the flow moving. You don't have to disrupt anything for Jimmy Butler to be productive. That's been, I think, the biggest breath of fresh air in this acquisition, and there's no doubt they run out of the tunnel different. They feel better about themselves. They feel like they now have enough to compete against whoever's in front of them, and I'm not sure they did prior to Jimmy arriving there.
Look, this isn't, to me, a honeymoon. This just feels different. You talk about practice, right? In Miami, he really barely practiced. In Golden State, he is practicing. In Golden State, he's staying late, showing up early, in film session, in the meal room, the training room. He's spending time with teammates, trying to ingratiate himself more and more. And the commitment that the Warriors gave him with the extension, that's the same commitment he's given back. And in recent weeks, he's had dinner with Draymond Green. They played dominoes. I do expect him and Stephen Curry to get together here very soon on an intimate level. And what we're seeing here is a repeat of history. You think about players like Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, both playing a lot better since Jimmy Butler has been there. And this is the most important stat to me.
Yeah.
Before Jimmy Butler got there, the Warriors were minus 90 when Stephen Curry was off the floor. With Jimmy Butler's arrival in the last few weeks, the Warriors are plus 30. That alone makes this trade a massive win for the Warriors.
It's always been the Golden State Warriors sort of issue, is how do they contend with the non-Steph minutes? How do they stay afloat in those minutes that he's off the floor? And with Jimmy, they've looked pretty good so far. I think the definition of not being a honeymoon stage is this lasts for a while and they get their goal of being a top 6 seed. How sustainable is that, Brian?
Well, though, they've got the second easiest schedule coming in the West.
Right.
So when you look at that, you also look at it, they're 2 games out of being in 6, which is their goal.
Right.
What I found interesting is what Draymond said. I know some people smiled at it when Draymond said this team can win the championship. I'm going to pay attention to that a little bit. While I'm not certainly saying that, the reason I think he feels that way, number one, he likes the direction of the team. Number two, he's looking at the teams in front and saying, this is really unclear how this is going to fall. You know, you look at the East, the Cavs have been 1 for the whole season. The Celtics have number 2 locked down. The Knicks are pretty solidly in 3. You got a pretty good idea who's going to be 4 or 5. After the Thunder in 1, I don't know what's going to happen in the West.
Right.
And Draymond feeling that and seeing the opportunities here, I'm going to take that into account as I watch how this unfolds.
Well, and as we just showed in the standings here, they won. The Clippers lost. Of course, they were without Norm Powell, without Kawhi Leonard here. But a game and a half essentially separates 6 through 9 here in the Western Conference. It's the Clippers, it's the Timberwolves, it's the Mavericks, it's the Warriors. Who of those 4 teams is healthy right now? Just Golden State. And so you have to take that into account a little bit. But as the Warriors set their sights here on climbing into the top 6, let's just shoot up the standings a little bit. The top of the West, SGA and the Thunder in Minnesota last night. And this was a battle here, Brian. OKC led by as many as 19 before the Wolves had that 30-9 run to end the first year.
This shouldn't have been a game. The Thunder had way bigger advantage in this game with the Wolves missing 3 starters.
And then Jalen Williams launches from the logo, splashes in the 3. Wild first half, ends with the Thunder now down 2 again after leading by as many as 19. So to the third we go. Now the Thunder down by 7 here. Alex Caruso misses the 3. But watch again. Wide open Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets that one to go. Thunder down 4 now, Brian.
Yeah, this is where I think the Thunder felt a little bit of pressure and responded. This is the question we have to this team. Can they respond if they face some pressure?
They scored 42 in the third. They're up 7 after 3. So now we're in the fourth quarter here. Close game. But right here with that Chet 3, the Thunder take a 114-112 lead. Later, same score here. Caruso takes it away from Jaden McDaniels. The Thunder in transition. SGA pulls up for 3, nails it.
This is vintage Thunder basketball. They're always looking for steals and always getting out in transition. Shai finishes.
Well, Shai, he had the aura, right? 37 points, 8 assists, 8 boards, 3 steals. Thunder win. Here's SGA with our George Sedano.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out. Just kind of scary. We have some moving parts, some new lineups, but it doesn't matter. We come out here and compete together, and everything else just falls where it is, and